going to tell you. Thank you, Profilers, for sponsoring this special Thursday night podcast. All right, I'm going to change it to mine now, too. So, as you know, one of my favorite games that we play on the podcast is a game called Gavin or Google. So, in that spirit, I wanted to play a new game this evening. I'll explain the rules to you, and then we can start the game. So, let's roll the intro. We're going to play our new game, which is called Bethany Knows Stuff.
Bethany knows stuff about the world, so let's find out what stuff she knows. Bethany knows stuff about the world, so let's find out what stuff she knows.
All right. Hey,
I like that it says maybe.
Maybe knows stuff. That was the John Rice in your add-in. So, okay, Bethany, help me out here. So I've always pronounced your name as Bethany Feinstein. But then you were introed on relationship goals as Feinstein.
That's wrong.
That's wrong.
Feinstein's right.
Feinstein is the
Do you want
correct
the proper pronunciation?
pronunciation.
Feinstein.
It's actually Barfany.
It's actually Barfany Fartstein.
That makes sense. That makes sense. I'm going to switch my tassel over because it's on the wrong side, which is the graduated side.
I don't know.
I don't know, but afterwards we should go the other way.
If the game goes well. Okay, so here are the rules for Bethany Knows
Oh,
Stuff.
God.
I am going to ask the lovely, intelligent Bethany Feinstein. I'm going to ask her some basic facts. Then you're not going to answer, Bethany.
Okay.
What's going to happen is our panel of academics over here. Chris, your graduation is on backwards.
That's what they were saying. They kept.
I told him it was fine.
They kept gesturing to me. I'm like, I kept switching around my hat because I thought my hat was on wrong.
No, you look like a
I
priest.
saw them laughing at Chris. I was like, what's wrong?
I was like, what am I? I
No,
was like,
you got
switching-
it. You got it. I think your hat's also on backwards.
Well, that's because they were like, it's on backwards. I'm like, okay.
And I'm the dumb one.
The hat, by the way, literally says inside, this is the front of the cap. It tells
it
you
does?
which way
I
to
didn't
put
see
it
that
on.
either.
I'm actually surprised this fits on my head. I have an enormous head. I took the kids to a Dodgers game, and they have the fitted caps, which is always like, you know when people get in situations and they get triggered and they get anxiety? That's my thing, because I'm like, none of these hats are going to fit me.
Trip XL.
I get all the way up to like 7.5, and that's the highest that they stock, and it's
Nice.
like not even close. I got to wear like a size 8 hat. It's ridiculous. Okay, so I'm going to ask Bethany a question, a basic fact about the world, and then we're going to pause. Bethany, you can bluff a little bit, say whether you go, oh, I definitely know this or not. You can game these people if you want to,
Patrick,
like,
you already told him I know everything.
fuck,
Yeah.
she knows everything.
She's so smart.
Then you guys are going to just write on your whiteboards yes or no. Either Bethany knows it or she doesn't know it. You get a point if you're right. Now, additionally, if you know the answer yourself, Patrick, you got to be careful because she can see your whiteboard. You can also write
Patrick
the
doesn't
answer.
know anything either.
You can
I'm
write
pretty
the answer
smart.
yourself and then get a bonus point as well. Are you guys ready to play Bethany Knows Stuff?
No.
Yes.
You're supposed to write it on your whiteboard, buddy. All right, our first question for Bethany Knows Stuff.
Oh, God.
Okay, no, you're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. All right, Bethany, the first question I'd like to ask you is, and don't answer right away, what is the difference between arteries and veins in the body? What's the
my
difference between
God.
arteries? Don't tell me. Okay, so
No, I know this
based
one.
on her
I know this
reaction,
one.
what is the difference between arteries and veins? What is the difference between arteries and veins? Our panel of academics is furiously writing their answers. You can just like paraphrase on your answer.
Yeah, I got it.
That's
Yeah, I'm
it.
going to paraphrase the scientific reason for that.
All
Do I have
right,
my-
I am locked in.
Hey, Ellie. Do I have the other thing? Do I have the bell anywhere? Oh, yeah. Yeah. I want a bell. That's one of the only demands I made is I had to have graduation caps and a bell. That's the answer. All right, Chris, since you're closest to me, we will start with you. Does Bethany know the answer to what's the difference between arteries and veins?
No.
No. Okay. And then, Patrick, what do you say?
I say no.
You say no. Bethany, please tell us, what is the difference between arteries and veins in the human body?
The arteries are inside your body.
Correct? They are.
And I think may have blood in them sometimes. And I think
So
the
far, so
veins,
good?
I think your veins are bluer on the outside.
So she did describe things that are different about arteries and veins, but I would have to say no. She didn't know the difference between arteries and veins. So each of you now gets a point. I'm gonna have to track this somehow. Thank you very much. I don't think I'll need this bell after all. So it's only for right answers. So each of you gets a point. Can somebody keep score for me, Patrick? You want to help me keep score? So they each have a point. Chris, why don't you tell us what your answer is for what's the difference between arteries and veins?
I put no, and I said arteries don't have blood.
Wow. Okay, Patrick, what's the difference between arteries and veins?
Arteries go north-south.
Patrick, your answer was almost correct. Arteries carry blood away from the heart. Veins carry blood back to the heart.
That's really good to know.
So listen, you have a good defense here.
Okay,
These
good.
guys didn't know it either.
I'm not the only one.
Yeah, but I was pretty close.
By the way, arteries always have blood. It's not partially. It's not
And
sometimes.
veins are inside your body.
I thought they were outside.
Unless you're like super ripped, and then they're on the outside. Okay.
Or your inside out boy.
Next question for Bethany Knows Stuff is, as you know, Bethany,
Do I?
periodic table of elements tells us all the basic building blocks of the universe. So I'm going to read you a list of things,
No.
and I just want you to tell me how many of these things appear in the periodic table of elements.
Okay.
I'm going to give you a list of things. You tell me the number of them.
Okay.
I'm going to give you 8 things approximately. You tell me the number of them that are elements. You don't have to tell me
Out
which
of the
ones.
8.
Out of the 8.
Okay.
You ready?
So I could just guess.
Yeah, absolutely you could. Salt, fire, dirt, water, mineral, wind, energy, and diamond.
Okay.
I can go over the list again really quickly if you want. Salt,
One more time.
fire, dirt, water, mineral, wind, energy, and diamond. So you guys just have to answer whether or not you think Bethany knows how many of those are elements, and then you have to get the correct number yourself. Okay. Chris, let's go with you now, Patrick. Patrick, do you think she knows the answer or not? Don't give us your answer.
No.
You think no?
No.
You don't think so either. Bethany, how many out of those 8 are elements in the periodic table of elements?
I was thinking water did, but I'm thinking of something else.
Uh-huh.
Oh, wait. Is that
You don't have to even tell us the one. Just, all you need to just do the number.
0?
She is correct. None of those were elements. So you guys do not get a point, but did you get the bonus point? 0. Patrick, how many did you get?
Wait, but water,
Water.
hydrogen and oxygen, if you break it down.
There is
Well,
no
then all
periodic table. There's no element labeled water. I
but there's one
guarantee it.
that's hydrogen and oxygen.
There is
There's one
correct.
for-
Just so you know, everything is made of elements, so it can
put
all be broken
4.
down into that.
I put 4.
4. Okay.
I think the one that made me laugh the most was dirt.
Instead of Earth, I had the Chinese, the different Chinese elements of nature in there. Okay.
I think the question's flawed.
So what's our tally so far?
Chris, who got points on the first round?
I
of
definitely
us.
did.
They both got 2
and
points.
me, Patrick.
Chris is beating
No,
me by
excuse me.
1.
They both got 1 point because neither one knew what arteries were.
Okay. So
They both
Chris
got
is
1
ahead
point.
2 to 1.
Okay. Bethany,
Burnie.
as you know, you are organizing an event. Oh wait, I'll go back to this one in a second. We'll go back to anatomy because I like those.
Okay.
What does your liver do? And then additionally, for bonus point, where is it located in your body? Where is it located? What does your liver do and where is it located? So this is just 2 yes or no's, guys. You look confident. You look very confident.
I don't know how.
4 elements, Patrick. How dare you? What
Did
in
you
the
say
world?
4?
What were the 4?
Water
Yeah.
was 2.
The cloak. Okay.
You can.
Patrick, they're all made of elements. Everything has to be made of an
Well,
element.
fire is not an element.
That's true. That is true. You're correct. Nor energy. Yeah.
I was like mineral, sure, and diamond.
Oh, and definitely diamond.
Diamond was the one I expected for people to argue about.
All right, so what are we doing now?
You're going to guess whether or not Bethany knows, first of all, what does her liver do, and then where is it in the body?
I'm
Feeling
ready.
good, guys?
I'm
Yeah.
ready.
Okay, what'd you say, Chris? Will she know it or no?
Yes.
You say she'll know. What about the second one?
Oh,
There's 2 parts.
no.
Oh, he wrote the full thing out. He wrote out what it does. What about you, Patrick? Will she know the answer of what does the liver do?
Nay,
And will then she be able to answer where it is in the body?
and that's another nay.
That's 2 no's in a row. So the first
Oh.
question, Bethany, what does your liver do? What is the function of the liver?
I think it has to do with alcohol.
Go ahead. It's just the alcohol center of the body?
Barbara,
or the
Barbara,
brain?
help.
Or somewhere? What's the function of it?
It's supposed to keep the toxins out.
That is correct. It cleans the blood, cleans toxins out of the blood. And alcohol would be one of those toxins.
Yeah.
I should have known that she would know that.
And it is located Somewhere here.
Wait a second. Where is
Somewhere
it?
in this region.
Well, you like, pointed at your body. Just give me a quadrant. Where is it?
In your stomach.
So here, I'm gonna say no on that. It's up here. Your liver's up here.
Damn it, that's
Yeah.
what I said.
Yeah, but you went like this. So I'm gonna say that's a no on the body
Oh, wait, I was
geography.
gonna ask for this.
There is your liver.
Wait,
Is
which
that-
one? Which part is the green thing?
The big massive thing. That
What's the
huge
green thing?
That's your
Is
gallbladder.
that I was gonna ask if that was an
They're
artery.
labeled, Bethany.
It's too hard to labeled.
That whole thing.
Yeah, that whole thing. That's why you know it's up here. Yeah. All right, so Chris, what did you say for the second one?
I said
Chris got it. She knew what it did, but she didn't know where it was. And what did you say that it does?
it processes toxins, and I said around your chest.
Like wrapped around?
I got a double no.
Double no. So Chris gets 1 point or 2 points. Patrick gets 1 point.
Plus one. Cleans blood.
Good job.
That's bonus. And then I said it was located in the gut region.
In the gut region.
I said stomach. Isn't that your gut?
Yeah, it's close.
So
Gut,
you don't
gut's
get
not an
it.
official part of the anatomy.
Around your
You don't get
chest
it.
is correct.
You guys are all just saying stuff that's on the torso. It's in a specific place all the time. All right. Should we do one last one in case there's a tie? We have a tiebreaker?
Yeah, I think it's tied up right now.
I think it's gonna be tied up.
Is it tied up?
I think we're
All right,
all.
we'll just
I think
make-
we're
we'll-
all three tied up.
We'll make this the tiebreaker then. We'll make this
is
the
the
tiebreaker
tiebreaker.
then. All right. Bethany, as you know, we live in a solar system.
Oh God.
It has a number of different planets on it besides our own. I would like for you, Bethany, to name the planets coming out from the sun in order, and you guys have to guess how many
wait.
she will get correct. How many planet names she will get correct. And if you want to do a bonus, then you will have to write them in the correct order as well. I'll even take, for you guys, since you're writing, I'll take first initials of everything. I don't have faith in anybody on this one. I would vote no across the board on this one. So we are attempting to name all of the planets in our solar system coming out from the sun
In order.
in order from the sun.
Okay.
I'm going to start with the sun. Chris, what did you say? How many is she going to get right?
2.
Two. Go ahead. Patrick, how
I
many?
think she'll get 8, right?
8 right. 8 right.
Yeah, it's basic
Which,
knowledge.
depending on where we are in history, that could be all of the planets or it could be one short. So why don't you go ahead and tell us?
What was the full question again?
What? Just name. You're stalling.
Starting from the sun.
Starting from
After
the sun. Name
Starting
the
from
planets in order in our solar system coming out from the
Okay.
sun.
Mercury.
That is correct.
Venus.
Yes.
Earth. Mars. Jupiter. Saturn. Uranus. Neptune. And I don't know if anyone counts Pluto these
That's
days.
okay. No, that's okay. Wow, that is a big ring. So Chris has a lot of blanks on it.
Yay, my friends clapped for me.
So Bethany, you actually did really well.
I didn't do that bad.
You
You,
got-
you didn't ask me about the Civil War.
You got 3 out of 4. Well, okay, I'll ask you. I'll ask you some follow-up ones here in a
Oh,
second.
God.
All right, Chris, what did you put? She said she was going to get 2, so you get no points.
Yeah.
Patrick, I'm going to give you the 8 because the 8 or 9
'Cause that's
planets
yeah.
was a debate about it. But let's see
That's
for
not a
bonus
debate
points.
anymore.
Let's see what Chris's were. You didn't know anything before Earth. You didn't know Mercury or Venus. Earth, Mars,
Yeah,
Jupiter.
so fuck you. I'm smarter than you.
You did say Uranus and Saturn. Right?
I wasn't
I said
done.
them
I was
all.
still processing it. Like
Processing what? Processing the
the
solar
song in my head.
Patrick, and what did you get? Were you changing answers?
No, I was just saying that Neptune and Uranus actually switch orbits, so sometimes Uranus is closer and sometimes Neptune's closer. But it is
Okay,
Mercury,
calm
Venus, Earth,
down,
Mars,
smarty
Jupiter,
pants.
and
Check
Uranus,
that out.
Neptune.
You're saying the Neptune comes inside of Uranus's
Sometimes
orbit.
they flip and flop.
Flip and flop.
It's actually true. Look it up. Thank
Okay.
you.
Okay. Fair play. Look at that. Smarty pants are there.
That's true.
So 2 points. So Patrick, who's our champion for the first edition of Bethany Knows Stuff?
Actually, it's a tie between Patrick and Chris.
All right. Let's go for the next one.
No.
Let's go for the next one. All right. Let me see if I can
Am I
find
just
one.
a point down or a couple?
All right. Since you want geography,
Damn it.
we're holding an event across the Atlantic Ocean.
Yes.
We're holding RTX London. One of the biggest battles in any war ever was the invasion of the beach of at Normandy on D-Day in World War II. Where is Normandy? Where is Normandy?
I think I know.
Well, now you guys just have to say whether or not Bethany will know this, and
I
then
know it. I
you
know
have to
it.
tell us where Normandy is.
I know
Normandy
it.
is. This confidence. Look at the confidence on Bethany's face. She knows this. She thought there were prisoners in Alcatraz today,
Is that really that weird?
peeing out of their vaginas. That's what she thought was happening in Alcatraz right now.
I still am not convinced that I'm not peeing out of my vagina hole.
You can take her word for it.
Maybe I need a friend to like watch me do it, Barbara.
It's all your pee arteries that sometimes don't carry blood. When they carry pee, they go to your vagina. All right, Chris, what did you say? Will she know it or will she not know it?
Yes.
She'll know it.
Fuck. I mean, yes.
I also said yes.
You said she will know it.
Well, she just told me she did.
Did you believe me?
Tell us, where is Normandy?
What are you asking specifically?
Just say. We'll be able to judge whether or not it's right. Where is Normandy?
But like, what?
You can't say Earth.
I was gonna say what country, but is it a country?
Go ahead. Normandy's its own country. Where's the country of Normandy?
Is it in France?
That is correct. Bethany, you're crushing it. So you both were correct. You each get it. There's Normandy right there. It's the northern region of France.
Thank God.
So, Chris, what did you say?
Well, I got 2 answers, both correct.
France and Europe. And then you got France as well. Guys, I think we're going to end our first game of Bethany Knows Stuff in a tie. So congratulations to our 2 reigning champions, Patrick and Chris Demarais.
Nice job, Chris.
I feel obligated to say your first and last name now. I don't know why.
Yeah, well-
I'm taking this hat off. Bethany, you want to throw your hat?
Yes.
Should it be a tradition of Bethany Knows Stuff? We can throw our hats. Well, we didn't do the tassel going back over that.
We
Oh,
didn't
yeah, I
know.
forgot.
No, that's okay. Bethany, I am actually really impressed. And I also
didn't do
now,
that bad.
after the periodic table of elements question, I think maybe we should change the name to Patrick Knows Stuff. And have him as a permanent guest on the podcast.
Water is an
Look, so
element.
my bad. It's usually history and geography. Like I don't know anything about it. That's usually where people try to like trip me up.
Or anatomy.
Keep
Or
talking.
anatomy.
For
or
RTX London, since you've done so much research on London, in what century was King Arthur the ruler of England? Century. Just guess it.
The 12th.
12th century? Guys, gonna refute that?
That's actually what I was going to say.
I
But
was
Really?
going to say 11th.
Okay. King Arthur's a fictional character who never actually ruled England, but okay. I should have probably asked that question instead. But then we still would end up in a tie.
But he was based on a true story.
But is that like the sword and the stone?
Yes, all fake.
Oh.
All fake. We found out a couple of things about England. We found that most Americans believe that King Arthur was real, and also that Sherlock Holmes was a real detective in the 1800s.
Was it?
No, he was not. He was not a real hero.
But
a
Dr.
real
Jekyll and
detective.
Mr. Hyde are
excuse me.
real, right?
All right.
one of them is.
Okay.
So now I should know what I will be able to cosplay King Arthur at RTX London. What have we announced for that show? Have we announced anything
We
besides
haven't announced any guests, Burnie,
including
including anyone.
really? Okay.
And Twitter wants to know.
You guys,
What is the fucking hot dog? What is the hot dog?
Oh, the hot dog's life, man.
What is that?
It's like a dancing hot dog. You can put it wherever you want. It sits on the ground.
But
and
where? Like,
Is
how do I?
Snapchat?
Is it Snapchat
Yeah, it's a
thing? Okay,
Snapchat.
because I just see the photos of it and I don't know where the fucking
it's
hot dog comes from.
2017's Dat Boy.
And you can make it bigger. You can make it smaller. You can put it on stuff, and then it stays there when you move the camera.
That is the kind of thing, like the hot dog's got the headphones on and everything, and it's
It's
fucking
jamming out,
dancing.
yeah.
That's the kind of thing that it comes up in a like a design meeting with people around a conference table, and they come up like, "Hey, everyone's gonna fucking love this hot dog." It's the kind of thing that should not fucking work.
You know how I think they came up with this?
If you're putting a hot dog on me, it's gonna be the end of our relationship, Barbara. If you're putting a hot dog on me right now, is there a hot dog next to me?
Hold
There
on,
is a
I-
hot
Where's the hot dog?
It's on your right shoulder.
I'm trying
Oh,
to
wait.
place it.
Fuck that hot dog. Fuck you, hot dog. It's right here.
Yeah, it's right there.
Stupid fucking hot dog.
Oh,
You're overrated.
that hot dog's
That
there.
actually eyeline matches
you,
really.
you won't have a career in a year.
You know where I think the hot dog came
Working
from?
at a ballpark.
The eyeline's so perfect.
This is it, Bernie. The eyeline is so perfect.
I think the hot dog came from the Dancing Baby.
Oh,
I think
really?
someone just thought about Dancing Baby. Was like, how can we make this? Like, this was something that was huge 20 years ago. And it's just like, let's make a
People love
dancing
two
hot dog.
things. They love babies. They love hot dogs.
Can't eat a baby.
Can't eat a hot dog.
You can.
What is it? Does the hot dog have a lore to it?
It dances.
That's it. It's just a hot dog that got
Hey, over under on whether or not we'll see dancing hot dog Halloween costumes.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, it'll be
Yeah.
long gone before that, and everyone will have forgotten it. I will bet nobody. We'll try to find someone, no one we know personally, and there will be very few people doing the hot dog costume.
Okay.
I'm doing it.
Well, you'll do it just to win the stupid bet.
I'll do it. I was David Pumpkins the last
You were.
last
Trust me,
Halloween.
we're making it too confusing.
We should make a website to chronicle hermit crabs changing their
Gus,
shells.
where am I going to host a website about shell economics?
Well, what
how would I
you could
even do
do-
that?
you could get a website using Squarespace.
Oh, wow.
And luckily, this episode of the podcast is brought to you by Squarespace.
Shel Silverstein.
I'm going
Whether
to
you
do
need-
segues for him now.
Whether you need a domain, website, or online store, make your next move with Squarespace, just like that hermit crab moving to a new
Right
shell.
before the podcast, Gus has this habit of where he says, don't talk about anything, don't talk about anything. And I actually did that for one of the first times ever because Brandon walked in. One of the first things he said when I saw him today was, so I have this theory about the sun. I was just like, I don't know what this is going to be, but I don't want to talk about it right now. I want to hear the theory of the sun on the podcast. Max, Gray, any predictions of what his theory of the sun is?
Genius. Like,
is
I
it based
realized-
on anything? Like, was there
Is
something
this
that
going to be
happened?
the relative time dilation thing?
It was an epiphany, like a personal experience that I had.
Were you
and
in the
just, like,
heat?
Is
Were you
this
in the
like
light?
flat Earth or turtles all the way down or any of that?
No, it's genius.
Okay.
Like after this, people are going to be like, Brandon was absolutely right, and it's going to change the way that they look at the world.
Genius, by the way, arguable. That's, in the eye of the beholder. Before you say it, though, I want to say that today's podcast is brought to you by Day 5, Season 2. Day 5 is coming back for the second season. You can check it out. It'll be on Rooster Teeth First on August 6th. Be sure to check it out. It is amazing. All right, let's hear it. What's the theory of the sun?
Look, I was at the beach for like a week, which
There
was
is sun at the beach.
a bit much.
For what?
A bit much.
What's a bit much?
To be like, at a beach for a week. I mean, you get bored. It's like, there's
It is, yeah.
sand, there's things touching me in the ocean.
I once spent 10 days in Vegas, and I never want to go back to Vegas. It was far too long to be in Las
I spent
Vegas.
8 days in Vegas. Yeah, it was
Too long.
awful. No, it's a
Yeah,
nightmare.
done. Out.
Yeah.
So it's unbelievably annoying because I burn very easily. So I have to like lather up with sunblock. And it's like disgusting and sticky, but I'm like, I just can't. I mean, this could be miserable. And then it's like, wait, like after 10 minutes, you start, like your body literally starts being damaged by this thing up in the sky. Like it's radiation. It's literally like radiation that
No,
your
literally
body
radiation, yeah.
is almost allergic to, if you want to call that. It literally starts destroying you. And it's like, how is it any different than smoking? It's not. It's the exact same thing. The only difference is, and it makes you wonder if we would feel differently about smoking, we have a way to slow down the effects. Like I believe SPF, the way that it's measured is it tells you like how much it slows the effect of the sun destroying you.
Knock me out here. So I'm taking SPF 15. Brandon, what does that mean?
I think it slows down the effects of the sun's damage by like it's 1/15th.
So if I spend 15 minutes in the sun with SPF 15 on it, it's the same as spending 1 minute in the sun with nothing on.
Geez, now that you say that, it doesn't sound right. I do know that after a certain SPF, it just doesn't matter.
Nah,
You go from like 96% effective to 97.
Once I take one step into the analyzation, then it doesn't make sense. But if I just like
It's basically it helps not damage you. And then, do you know the most popular form of cancer? Not lung
Popular?
cancer.
Popular?
like it's voted on
I know
the
which one I'd
greatest
like to
hits.
get.
All right. But yeah, most
The one that
popular
people
with
love
people's
to dance
bodies.
to.
It kind of makes sense. It's what do you think? What's the most common?
Common, there we go. I would say skin cancer.
Skin cancer.
Yeah, it's melanoma.
The facts are on my side here. It doesn't make sense. We have an entire billions and billions of dollars.
Are you debating with the sun? What are you doing here?
It just doesn't make sense. Like people just
I agree with
why
that.
we need to understand that this thing is killing you. It's just it hurts. Your body literally just is like, no, get away.
I'm still kind of locked onto like, the other like most common forms of cancer would be like breast cancer, prostate cancer, and now I'm like, how does the sun get involved? Like I've got some really strange images of people in sun affecting.
You, by the way,
what
you were
areas?
100% correct on SPF.
Hey,
That's exactly what it
oh,
means.
inverse ratios.
Imagine that a 30 SPF sunscreen could provide 30 times the protection of no sunscreen. That means if you spend 10 minutes in the sun, 30 times longer before you start to burn, or in this case, 300 minutes. That's exactly what it means.
Well done, you.
So how do you feel about? Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, with other people who are of Mexican descent, can you?
yeah, and they always talk to me in Spanish, and I'm just like, I just don't know, and it's tough because like my father-in-law, like he doesn't speak English, I don't speak Spanish, so our relationship is harder, especially since I don't know if I've talked much with you about him. He's very much like a man's man. And I'm not. Like the thing I always said was like I would be the perfect husband for his like third daughter.
Perfect husband for his third daughter? I don't know what that means.
like Cindy and the Brady Bunch.
Oh, okay.
But it's it's his princess.
You
It's
married
his
a
only
12-year-old.
daughter.
That's what I'm hearing.
We were at the beach, and
Where the sun.
he wanted to
Again.
under the sun.
Yeah.
He wanted to I don't know, just kind of do something fun, just the two of us. So he was like, come here. And we got like life jackets, and then we got a kayak, and we're gonna go out in the ocean. And I'm not crazy about the ocean. Don't like things touching my feet. Don't like tide taking me. And I was like on a kayak, something that's I wasn't crazy about it, but I was like, you know what? We're just gonna kind of like chill a little bit.
Yeah.
But we kept paddling, and we passed like the buoy, and I was like, he likes me. But
Hang on.
the exact cliche when the father-in-law takes you out and could kill you,
Yeah.
and like threaten you, and I wouldn't be able to do anything. I'm not going to swim back. I'm not going to fight waves.
Or he might
you're
have
a
been
boat.
testing you, and if you can make it back to shore, then you're worthy. You know.
I don't know if I was worthy, but it's a small kayak. He could easily just like push me out.
The two of you were in it?
Yeah, the two
One
of us were in a
kayak.
very small kayak.
That's not what a kayak is. It's a two-person kayak? Is that a thing?
Canoe?
No, it was like a big kayak.
Wait, was it covered on top?
It was a big kayak.
It was a big kayak.
It was a big kayak. I mean, I know my kayak. I've been on a kayak. That was it. It was a
Extra
big kayak in the
deluxe
ocean,
kayak.
All right.
which was terrifying.
Tandem kayak.
Yes.
And even
It also had a outboard motor, but it was not a kayak. Yes, two-person kayaks do exist, so yes. Checks out.
Thank you, Burnie. Even my wife and her family were they were joking about it, but it was like 10%. Like, oh, what's gonna happen?
I had a girl
And then I
whose
almost
dad
drowned him.
Cleaned a shotgun when I came to pick her up. You drowned him?
I almost drowned him.
What'd you do?
Well,
This is a Ben Stiller movie. This
What?
Is,
Where?
this was later. He was on an alligator.
wait, hang on.
He was on a floating toy alligator.
There we go.
Okay.
And it was like the whole family, and I was with Paul, and I was like, oh, maybe it'd be kind of fun if like we'd like, wrestle or like flip it and take the alligator, and it'll be fun.
What?
And I flipped it. And
With
I
your
don't
father-in-law?
know- Yeah, like, oh, my son-in-law flipped me. Oh, you there.
I punched him in the face.
But I don't know if he was like locked into it, and I flipped him, and he didn't disengage. He was still locked in with his legs and his arms, and was there for like 10 seconds. And I was like,
The alpha move.
oh my god.
Maybe he thought the alligator came to life and was attacked.
Yeah.
And that's the way you wrestle an alligator.
So maybe next time.
So the end of the story is he died by.
he's alive.
He didn't, or he saved his life by letting go.
He's no. I flipped it back.
Really?
Yeah.
He won.
He just rotated
Yeah,
back
he
up.
won.
And he was
Do you think it was a power move?
Fuck yeah, it was. He can let go of the alligator anytime he wants to.
Yeah. Well, I told you. I don't know. You heard last time. We were out drinking like with the family, and he ordered beer, and then I ordered wine.
Yeah.
And then he was like, "I'll also order wine." So it's like
Maybe
a
you guys
weird-
connected over that.
I don't know if it was a
Maybe
connection.
he's always
or
wanted
it
someone
was
to drink wine with.
Oh, he probably has.
Did he start matching you for like glass for glass or anything? Or
No, he was probably happy because I remember the last time he offered me wine, I didn't take it because I was eating cookies and milk.
He probably thought you poisoned the beer.
There's the way that you're telling these stories. There's every single statement is a question. It's like you're the Twin Peaks of like telling a story.
Like a branching interactive story.
I'm like, oh, I need to see the entire season to understand.
I
Like,
was
where's the lore?
celebrating because it was the night Paul and I got engaged, so I was having milk and cookies.
Okay.
I don't eat milk and cookies anymore because I very easily get fat again.
So it's just traditional now when you celebrate milk and cookies?
That's one of them.
What kind of cookies?
Like Chips Ahoy. I can't do Oreos anymore. Oreos is too intense. When I was a
hard,
kid,
yeah.
I would get a huge cereal bowl and like fill it full of Oreos, and then get some whole milk.
Yeah.
And just eat it. And it was amazing. But I like if I eat just one thing, my stomach immediately expands.
I had a friend who would do that. It was a friend of Geoff and Gus's and mine. He would get cookies and cream ice cream, and he would dump it into a blender and then dump in a package of Oreos and blend that and then eat that. That was like
Made a
his
milkshake?
snack.
Like a crazy
This
milkshake.
dude was like an athlete.
You
Yeah,
should
can you
set
have
up
beer?
a stand
Yeah.
outside Wendy's and like just try to undercut them because
Thank
it's the same thing, right?
So gross.
It's the old joke about if you have a dentist you have a crush on, then you eat a whole bag of Oreos before you go in, so they have to
That's
spend a much
weird. That's
longer,
disgusting.
yeah.
I'm so paranoid before I go to the dentist.
Oh yeah.
It's the only time I floss in my life.
I was gonna say Max cow stories. Do we have the setup for Max's cow story here?
Yeehaw! Shit, I missed it.
So Max, tell us what the hell this is, because I saw this video. I think on Twitter. Did I see it?
Yeah. So I brought some people out to go check out the ranch, and then we were hanging out with the cows. They're very sweet.
This music is my favorite.
I
thing
love
ever,
it.
by the
It's
way.
so good.
I want the lights to come down. I want to start rocking.
Oh wait,
It's
actually,
like,
on the other
we need a
side of
fire.
that chair, on the other side of that chair, if you can grab them, they should be there. We have cowboy hats.
Hell yes.
We have cowboy hats?
Yeah.
Wait.
See, this is when you were talking about being on the river. I almost talked about this. That's a gun?
Got a gun.
Give me a cowboy hat. You know what? Did you see the thing where I bought Gavin a cowboy hat? See, give me the biggest one.
They're all the same
three.
size, and none of them will fit me. So you gotta.
You got a big head?
Yes,
I
I
got
do.
a huge head. Yeah. Oh, these are good quality.
Amazon's finest.
Oh, this is a size 7. It's gonna sit on my head. Look at this. I look like a Lego character.
What's this made of?
Yeah, there's no way.
Perfect.
Oh my gosh.
What in tarnation?
What in tarnation?
All right, I'm going back to the baseball cap. Size 7.
So I brought some people out to hang out with the cows. It was cool.
What does that consist of?
Well, like we just hang out on the front porch and drink, and then go hang out, go over to the cows. And
That sounds badass,
chill with
dude.
them.
And shoot the teenagers trying to tip them at night.
Yeah, I was gonna ask. Do you have
Legend.
cow tippers?
No, I've never heard of that being a thing. Somebody has claimed that they've done, like somebody that I ran into recently claimed that they had done that, but I don't see how you can do that.
I had people that I knew in Louisiana that they'd go cow tipping.
I guess like if they're in like a small place, but it's like to get up to the cows to like sneak up that far, it's like they're gonna run away. Or
The myth as a kid is that, well, no, they sleep standing.
they absolutely do not.
And
Right.
Yeah. And all you need to do is just walk right up to them and just push and run.
Because they're sleeping, yeah.
Yeah, no, they all sleep on the ground, but
The problem with urban legends is that then people come out to do it.
Yeah.
They don't know it's an urban legend. That barrel pointed at me freaked me out a little bit.
oh my god.
At
But I
some point,
understand.
do you sell the cow to get
Yeah, they have their own their own brand in like it's at like Wheatsville and stuff.
That's
is
so cool.
there a
dairy? Do you milk them?
No.
So you don't
Broke it.
Yeah.
adventures with milking machines.
No, it's just like it's 100%. It's like 100% grass fed. So like none of the like kind of just like they get to be like normal cows, and then they just
as opposed
Sorry,
to.
it broke the gun.
as opposed to every other like a lot of other cows.
So you have to treat the cow very differently if they're going to be a milking cow.
Well, I guess so, but like I mean, it also comes down to like what their diet is and how you work with them. Like most of the way that it's done in America is like through a feedlot. You get as many cows as you possibly can, and then you feed them corn and grain.
Do you massage them, or like the
No,
Japanese
no.
do for their
No.
the Kobe and all that?
No, they're just chill. They're happy. They're super cute.
Is it like
Running
McDonald's?
around.
Do you eat one in the car on the way home? Like, just like I always
turned
take
out
one
great.
thing in the car with me that I have.
Yeah,
to eat.
no, they're all pretty good. Our bulls are like the most tame, which is funny because like most other ranches, the like rodeo stock bulls are like
They're trouble.
crazy.
Yeah.
And these ones are just like, whatever. We just have one really strange looking lady named Red, and she just is always staring down the herd.
This is right here.
Yeah, there she is. She wasn't looking at us there, but her eyes are kind of on the side of her head, and she's always just kind of like, there's something going on here.
This is gonna seem like
They're not
such
just
a
hanging
weird
out.
existence to so many people, but normal to us. It's not normal to us. This is like I only know one other person who's lived like this in their life. You're out there with cows all day. It's fucking amazing.
I lived on a farm.
They're chill. That's Bluebell's.
What farm did you
Bluebell's
live on?
daughter.
My grandma had a farm. They had a lot of chickens. I'd go get eggs. That's how I got attacked by a rooster. I was
Yeah.
kind of chasing it and did not like that. So it turned around and started chasing me, and I was running away from it, and it just kept up with me. It was faster than me and was just like poking my leg. And at the end of it, I was just bleeding. And then my grandma went out because she's been on a farm forever, and she just does what grandmas do.
So is it kind of a catharsis?
And we ate that rooster that night.
So but working for Rooster Teeth now, it's like every day you're coming into work, I've conquered you.
Was that where the name came from?
Yeah, actual rooster.
Yeah. It's very farmy. No, Yeah. I think.
So do you get like
Dear
do you do
Tyree,
milk the cows?
No. Like I think it's mostly just
They're
like,
ranch animals.
Yeah. They just you got to feed them in the morning, like give them hay if it's cold. But generally they kind of just they go from the back pasture to the middle pasture to the front pasture, then back. They do a little cycle every day.
Yep.
And they just kind of do their thing.
I had a friend who grew up on a goat farm, and it just sounded like such a hard existence.
Well,
Did he drink
goats
the
are
milk?
crazy because they'll climb. Like goats will go everywhere.
Yep.
Cows, it's pretty easy to spot where they're gonna go. And
Right. Yeah. I think
best-
if you can lose like 1 or 2 goats, then you just kind of don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The best thing about the ranch is so Patty, the owner of the ranch, her call to all the cattle every morning is girls. I'm shit you not, and it's the loudest because it's like people call like you've seen like people doing like pig calling competitions.
Yeah.
Where it's like really forceful. It's like because you have to yell out across the ranch to call all the cattle over, and her call to all of them is just at the loudest girls. All of them.
Oh, yeah, I do a call for Joe the cat that I didn't know was a thing until he went missing. Remember when we moved and he went missing for a month? And so I'd go out and walk and I just call to him. And we hired a cat tracker, real person, actual job. Yeah,
Love it.
She was a cat tracker, and I was walking around with her, and she was like, "Can you teach me how to do that call?" And I was like, "Is that a thing? I didn't know that people can do it." I would just walk around and go like that, and she couldn't do it. But that's what I always do when I feed Joe, the cat. So he learns that noise means food, and he'll come. Every time I make that noise, he'll just come.
Wait, is that her side job or her full-time job?
I think it's her full-time job. Yeah.
So weird.
Why does she not call herself
like
a
all the-
catcher?
The catcher.
I was proud of myself for that. Nobody else was.
No.
I know. I'm proud.
Everybody else hated it.
You're sitting in Barbara's seat too. That's the best part. That's the best part of it.
But before we leave the ranch thing, so you had mentioned that there's a ranch owner.
Yeah.
So like, how did you find this place? Where
So-
you just go through the classifieds and you went, it's a metropolitan apartment downtown, the nightlife, whatever.
Perhaps
Live on the farm with
wrong.
cows. Let's call them.
No, so what happened was my husband used to be like in politics. He was running a campaign for this woman on the ranch. He was running her campaign to be state representative for Bastrop.
No kidding.
They got real close, didn't work out, and he was just kind of like, politics isn't really my jam as much as it used to be. So he grew up in a small town, and he lived next to a ranch, and so he just started working with her. And then over time, she doesn't have any living relatives, so it was kind of like...
So they went from working with the sheep to the cattle.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, and then so she's just basically been like, well, I need somebody to take care of this ranch. Guess it's y'all. Okay. And I'm like, but yeah. So it's interesting. I never anticipated that, but it is... I don't know. It's compared to where I've been, because we're in the process of moving. We've been kind of back and forth between the two places. But it's my house in Austin. It's my neighbors' kids are always running around, breaking glass, throwing crap in our front yard.
Breaking glass. What the hell?
They're nightmares. They literally called the cops the other day.
The kids did?
The kids called the cops to report a robbery in progress at my house at 9 in the morning. And I wake up and there's 3 cops there.
The fuck?
And they're like, are you hey, we got a report of a robbery in progress. And I was like, nope. And he was like, well, do you have your phone? I was like, yeah. And he was like, well, it was definitely from here. And I was like, I think I could tell you who did it. Because my kid, the neighbor kids are just awful. And it's not even they're fucking with me. They're bored as hell. And so
Watch it. They're gonna come after your cow.
It's kind of fucking
Yeah.
a little bit.
Well, yeah, but their thing is nobody's really watching them. And so they have one of their fun games is break the fence on either side of their house. And they literally just try to kick it.
Break the fence. Such a great game.
So I'm if I can move out to somewhere where I never have to have a neighbor again, I'll be okay
Are
with
you
it.
anti-kid? You gonna have any kids? We have joining us on this very special Thursday edition of the podcast. Brandon, it's always a pleasure to see you.
Yeah.
Even though we fight every time.
Just want to say, everybody, stay out of the sun.
Just stay away from the sun and statistics.
If you didn't get anything out of this podcast, you at least got that.
Great, thank you for joining us. We didn't even talk about Genlock.
That's great. No, it's fine. No, I've enjoyed hanging out. This is...
I'm a little thirsty. Are you thirsty?
That's a fucking rocking ass segue.
That's a fucking segue.
I am
right there.
so thirsty. If only I had something to quench my thirst.
I feel like I should remind everyone that this episode of the podcast is
This
also
episode.
brought to you by Smirnoff Vodka.
Nice. Lounge music. Is it hot in here or am I crazy?
It's a little warm in here, but
you know,
we're
I
about
could
to
use a
cool
drink.
down thanks to the Smirnoff sidebar.
A wild Texas has appeared.
We have Texas with us.
Texas
is
here
back.
to make us some drinks, as he's been doing for all of our sidebar segments. This week, Gavin, it's your turn. We're going to have Gavin's Slow-Mo Mule. I know you're a big fan of the Moscow Mule.
Oh.
It's 1.5 ounces of Smirnoff number 21 vodka, 4 ounces of ginger beer, fresh lime. You add Smirnoff number 21 vodka to an ice-filled copper mug, top with ginger beer and stir. Garnish with a lime slice.
It's very important to have the mug.
Yes,
Copper
gotta have
mug,
the
yeah.
And I'm going to drink that extremely responsibly.
Yeah, very good. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you, Gavers. So thanks to Smirnoff. I think they're a great sponsor for the podcast. It's always good to know wherever you travel, you can always find a bottle of Smirnoff and pick one up and enjoy it. It's great quality at a very reasonable price. We've talked about this before. Smirnoff actually invented the Moscow Mule. So it's fitting now that we have a Moscow Mule type drink for you.
Well, the Moscow Mule is a very important drink in my relationship with Gavin because it's the only way I can get him to come over. Is I got him. I've talked about this on the podcast before, but I got him his own copper mug that lives in my house that no one else can use. I only get it out when Gavin comes over.
Has anyone ever used it since I've been...
Probably not. No.
Probably not.
No.
It's
no.
probably safe.
Never.
Do you have one of those things in your bar at home where you push the cup on it and it sprays water up it?
No.
That'd be cool. You should get one.
The cup.
Oh, yeah, to like clean it.
No, I have a dishwasher. What am I doing with myself?
No, but just to get like the dust and fluff out of cups that you may not use all the time. Am I passing these
Yeah,
down?
pass them down.
Moscow Mule. So tell me, what is in a Moscow Mule, if I may ask?
Well, this one, since
Okay.
Gavin's Slow-Mo Mule, is Smirnoff number 21
Thank you.
vodka, ginger beer, and fresh lime. There it is again, right
Oh,
on
that
screen
sounds
for you.
delicious.
And I just want to remind everyone that Smirnoff is America's #1 vodka. And if you're 21 and up, you should check it out for yourself. Maybe you can make yourself a little Gavin Slow-Mo Mule. Thanks, Texas.
Thank you,
I'm
Texas
sitting
and
here
Smirnoff for the lovely drink. Cheers,
talking
fellas.
about vodka, and there's a nice
Cheers.
little beverage
I'll
for
cheers
me.
with you.
Oh.
All right, now Blaine doesn't do it.
I am
Give it
older than
cheers to-
21.
Give a cheers to Geoff. There, see? That's the way I
didn't
do
look me
it.
in
A little
the
lesson
eye.
on cheers. Little lesson. So, Blaine, always make eye contact.
Fuck!
He just spilled it all over his lap, but that's okay. Always make eye contact. There you go.
You okay?
Texas. Wonderful. Thank you.
It's a great
That's
drink.
delicious. To this special Thursday edition of the podcast. Hello, Gavin.
Intimate.
To it. So Gavin and I had this idea that we like to go out every now and then for bevs and just catch up with each other.
Yeah.
But we haven't been able to do that for like 7 years, I think.
It's very difficult.
It's been a long time we've been in the same place.
But
so
if we schedule it at work, we can't. All the conference rooms are full. So why not schedule it on a podcast?
we get paid for this.
We get paid for this.
Yeah, which we don't get paid. We're beyond that. At this point, right? They stopped giving us paychecks. All right, so we're having a special 2-man edition of the podcast, and this podcast is...
What's the podcast?
I know, I said podcast twice.
all right.
This podcast is sponsored by Casper Mattress. Thank you, Casper. We'll talk more about them later. So how you doing?
I'm doing good. Just been playing video games all day.
Have you really?
Yeah.
I got to play a video playthrough team, and hey, Patrick, how are you doing, first of all?
I'm good.
Yeah?
I'm good. Yeah.
What is this seat that
I
you've
was
got?
ready and waiting.
Oh, well, okay, we should explain. Should we explain why we're a little late?
You
Is
should,
that...
because they're blaming tech.
Oh, who is?
Twitter.
Okay, well, let me be
You
clear.
don't have to, we don't have to receive blame from Twitter.
Yeah. Okay,
They
but
do all the time.
let me be clear. Let me clear this up. It was Tech's fault. No, Gavin and I, we had a. There'll actually be some of it. I'm sure will be in the vlog. We were shooting one thing, like we were recording a Let's Play together.
Yeah.
Over in stage 4. At the same time, I was recording a vlog, and then we came right up against the podcast. So we had 3 productions all at once.
You were vlogging us walking from one video to another, and it was 4:59 p.m.
People will have a playlist where you can follow us, through our 5-minute adventure.
That's
Get
what I
over
like about that time.
Oh shit!
Okay,
Why'd you do that?
I hit Gavin in the head with a bullet because I was shooting towards the car.
Damn it!
What? There's just a car, so I was just shooting towards it.
Someone over there.
Hey, sorry, Gavin. I'm gonna go to the podcast.
All right, Rooster died. I got him. But
I got Burnie.
Damn it, I'm out. I gotta go to the podcast.
So this is what happens a lot of times. We just left a recording for one show, and Gavin and I have to be on the podcast set in
Less than a minute.
less than a minute. All right, we'll get Brandon. Watch when we walk in. Brandon's gonna be like, "Hey guys, Brandon, do we make you nervous?"
Sit down.
Hey, welcome to this special Thursday edition of the podcast. Hello, Gavin. Our 5-minute adventure.
That's what I like about that time I was late for the podcast, because I forgot that it was at 5 after we just recently changed it, and someone had cut in real time me leaving a Hitman Let's Play and then coming and sitting down on the podcast, and it took me like 40 seconds to get from A to B.
Well, we give ourselves enough time. Like if we're going to record like a podcast Let's Play or something, we give ourselves enough time to do it. But always, it's 20 minutes, 30 minutes of setup at the very least.
Stuff goes wrong at the last minute.
Yeah.
Even if you say test all your stuff, there's always one thing that someone won't test, especially when there's 6 people trying to record the same video. We were recording earlier and Michael's Elgato just died like 1 second before we started.
Oh, really? Well, we played in a match. We have our podcast group that we played. We played in a match to kind of like warm up before you shut up. And we actually got our first ever squad chicken dinner in that.
Is that the first one we'd ever gotten as a squad with the Plum Squad?
With all 4 of us, because you and Blaine and Gus played without me. So
no, that could never happen.
like
we would never play without
Plum
you.
Squad. You weren't the full squad.
I don't think that can happen.
You were just pleh.
Yeah.
You're missing M.
You're quite good at that game, aren't you, little Rise Mongol?
Except for one thing.
No, you shut up. No, stop.
He's
This is
a
not why you
terrible
asked me.
fucking driver, and he won't admit it. He won't admit it. We're like a married couple.
But that's not anything to be embarrassed about if you're crap at driving in video games. It's not like you're crap at it.
But I'm not crap about it. Okay,
See what I mean?
I'm fine.
There's right there.
I'm fine.
He's not. We have footage, John. We have footage. While he's saying he's fine, he rammed a motorcycle into the side of my car. Like I was waiting in the car, waiting for John to come up. He was complaining
so
at us.
This is just you holding a vendetta because the first time we ever played a game, you didn't have your audio working, and I ran you over.
With you with something because we were traveling somewhere together, and I don't know if we can say it's RTX London. I don't know if either one of us has been announced yet. But I had her book.
Is this the part where Ellie yells at me and calls me a piece of shit?
Yes.
So what was this? What happened? Well, it's like you wanted to fly an American.
Well, okay.
You fly British Airways. Okay, go ahead.
I never fly British Airways. I fly American.
What? That's not true.
Because I can just spend miles and get upgraded. Right? Can't do that on BA.
Yes, you can.
No, you can get miles. You can't spend them.
Yes, you can.
Oh, bollocks!
No.
Bullshit.
This is probably where you're going wrong, Gavin, is that all you have to do is call them, and then you treat the person at the end of the phone like a person, and then they're more willing to help you out.
There you go.
Done it. They said you can't spend your miles because it's a British Airways operated flight, and you can't upgrade
They're
to
partners.
They're
Then
part
you use
of
the
One
phrase-
World.
Then you use the phrase, "Are you sure there's nothing you can do?"
What happens
Ellie.
then?
This is what she does.
And then they go, well, depending on how you say it. If you say it sternly, like you're politely but sternly, you know,
See,
like a British
can't-
way, then they take a few moments and they go, hang on, let me check. And then they come back 5 minutes later or something after you've been on hold for a while and you've been about your own business.
So who are you talking to? You talking to BA or American Airlines?
I'm talking to BA.
Okay, because I was to go through American. They're
Yeah,
like,
they'll go like, oh, there's nothing you can do and fuck you. But British Airways are like, I'm ever so sorry.
See, I went to American. They said, go screw yourself. Then they put me on to BA, and they said, you've got no
Just-
miles with us. They're with American.
So what's the situation now?
I'm
With
figuring it out now.
With this flight. See,
So
Ellie's
but here's what I wrote, right? I was very specific because if you're not clear, then you're to blame, right? So we were like doing this thing, and they were like, can you do this? And I was like, yeah, I need to fly on American Airlines. And then I thought, that's not specific enough because you can book code share through American, but it might be operated by British Airways.
This is so specific.
Right?
Go ahead.
So I said, yes, but I need to fly on an American Airlines operated flight. And that is as specific as I
But
could get.
you do
and I'm
understand-
on BA. So then I was like, well, I'm not flying American now.
No, you're not. You're flying on the same flight as every single person from this company going to RTX London.
Who are
And
those
you're
people?
the only one that's being extra about not being able to use free miles to upgrade.
You're like right under the bus.
The miles I earned, and it means that I can sleep in a bed flying.
But you can do it. You just have to go a couple extra steps and be nice to people.
Should we listen to Ellie because she has a posher accent than you?
Yes.
I don't look. There's no way on this flight on BA that I'm going to be in business class.
If I,
With an
what
upgrade.
would you do? What would you give me if I get you business class?
I would give you a business class ticket.
Would you?
Really?
I bought with my own money.
If she gets you upgraded to business class
For
then
free?
you would buy her a business class ticket to go over there.
Yeah.
So you just announced that Ellie's going to RTX London. That's what
Are you not going?
No, I don't. Yes. Yes. I don't think I can travel to RTX London. And
Also,
my
it's
assistant
not-
and producer who lives or is from the UK would not come with us.
It's not.
That would be quite mean.
If I
not
said
that
London,
I-
would you be mad if I said you're from London? That would have made you mad.
No, I'm so well. I grew up in Kent, and then I went to school in London. So I'm from both, but it's just easier to say from London. 'Cause
So
people are
fair,
like,
yeah.
Here's the thing. It's not that I have to fly business class.
England is my city.
It's just if you're going somewhere for work, if you slept on the way, then you're going to be like bouncier and more, in work form when you get there.
Yeah, but
I can
we're not-
I
we've
fly
got a
economy
couple
all the
days.
time. But
That's
if
why
we
we're
have the
going early.
choice, and I know I'm going to get the upgrade on American for free, and we'd have to spend, company money on an
It's the most
upgrade.
proper argument ever.
Then if we have the choice, we haven't booked the flight, put me on American. I'll happily fly to
But
Dallas
we wouldn't
first.
think that you should be operated by American. A normal person reading that isn't going to know the distinction.
So what
But
should I
I know
say?
the distinction.
Please fly me on a plane with American Airlines written on the side of the plane. How else
No.
can I explain it?
But I mean, something like I would rather go indirect to get my free upgrade because I'm extra, rather than
I've got the miles to spend. Why wouldn't I spend them?
because for a direct flight, like most
That'd be
normal
like-
people would rather have a direct flight than.
Do you, would you
You don't fly a lot, though.
All right.
So you're okay with you're okay with the connection?
It depends on the connection. Like to Dallas, that's like you're up, you're down. Now just do it again.
hate that
And I'll
part
be
of it, though.
Flying, sleeping. It's great.
I booked that flight because the entire company was going on that one flight on that day, and it didn't make sense to me that one person would be upset about.
I hope that the two of you can work it out.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to get you that flight.
This is why my
You're gonna
reputation.
You're going to owe her a very expensive business class ticket if that's the case.
I regret
You're
that.
Doing,
I regret
you're-
saying that. They're like-
you are
they're like
doing yours
6
with
grand.
It's gonna be
miles, but if you have
embarrassing
to
for you.
pay for that, that's a stupid amount of money. That's stupid. That was a big bet you just threw out there.
See, I get this shitty reputation now because now I'm like fussing about the thing that I was specific in the first place.
So Gavin of business class cannot fly with the peons in economy.
I will
that's
happily
true.
fly in economy. I'm just gonna be crabby.
Where am I
when
booked?
we land?
I will deal with your crabbiness.
Where am I booked?
But
am
what?
I up in business class?
Yeah.
I am?
Well, I'm going to get both of you free upgrades
Oh,
because
okay.
I'm nice to people.
Okay. I'll take it if I can get it.
Nice.
Do you
but
think?
firm.
Do you think I wouldn't be nice to someone on the phone? Have you ever spoken to me on the phone?
No, but if anything, speaking to you in real life is anything to go by.
Wow. Really brutal. She's spoken to you over email. It's kind of like the modern day phone.
You said to me the other day, that sounds like a lot of extra words I'd have to use. And that is verbatim.
Okay, so that's the thing that I don't have. I don't have like the fluff that goes around.
It's not fluff. It's just saying, hello, sorry, I have a bit of a problem. And I was wondering if you could help me out.
See, I wouldn't do that. I would just
No,
be
you
like,
wouldn't.
No, because there's no information there.
Well,
I
that's the
could be like,
beginning of the conversation, Gavin. That's not the whole thing. They're not supposed to guess the rest.
you just throw in a load of extra fluff around the bit that you want. Like for me, it'd be like, "Hi, I need help with an upgrade."
Yeah, I know. And they'd
Yeah.
be like, oh, this asshole.
But that's not rude. That's just me
It
being like,
is.
"How's that rude? How's that rude?" See, Meg had to go at me this once because I called up a dry cleaner and I said, "Hi, what time are you open till?" "Cool, thanks." And she was like,
Yeah.
and I was like, "What?" She's like, "Oh, I would have
You
been like,
gotta
hi, I'm just wondering, all this stuff." And I was
Yes.
like, but what does that achieve? That's just wasting their time.
No, it doesn't. It achieves people feeling like not only they're providing a service, but like people actually think that they're people, and that's nice. That's nice to be thought of as a person, and not like, "Hello, Gavin need clothes. When clothes?
This face that Gavin is.
Gavin need pickup clothes. When shop clothes? Thank you."
I mean, it's not that bad. Make
Well,
it sound like it's
that's how
just
it
like-
comes across.
When you're at a hotel and you have to call the front desk, or if you're going to order room service or whatever, do you tell them what room you're in when they pick up?
No, because they know what room you're in.
I know that, but it's like I always tell them what room I'm in. I feel like that's fluff. Like that is, I know that they have that information.
That isn't fluff because it's actual information. Like there's actual like data.
Yeah.
You can't get any data from, "Hi, I was just wondering if something, there's
Yeah, but
nothing
most
there."
people aren't just in search of data. They're trying to connect with other humans.
You're also trying to get something out of this person.
You need to think about the story. Like, this guy's been sat at the dry cleaners all day, right? And he's just been giving people bags of clothes and it's boring. And he gets a phone call and he's like, "Oh, a human to talk to." And you're like, "Hello, when does your store close? Thanks."
I would disagree. I would
They're looking for someone to be
think
like,
that someone in retail doesn't want any interaction with a human, and they want all interactions to be as brief as possible, so they can crack on with their
we
crossword or
aren't all
Sudoku.
just a bunch of Gavins walking the earth.
So if you were working at Waitrose,
Yeah.
and you're in fruit and veg,
Yeah.
you would prefer I just walk up to you and go, "Squash," and that's it. It's like no fluff, and you go right there.
I'd be like, "Spaghetti." I try and like get a little bit
Variety
more
of squash?
information. Butternut, I'd want more. I'd want just the information.
Yeah.
I see where you're coming from, Gavin.
I would ask.
Honesty,
I would want them to
but
say where.
I disagree,
Tangerine.
respectfully.
I've got to add more fluff to my life. Apparently.
You got
You're gonna have more fluff when you're buying Ellie a
little
business
bit more
class ticket.
fluff.
Where did you get your fluff from?
Oh, I don't know. Probably my dad.
That is a good point. Well, like, how did he get raised in the same country?
It's negotiation, isn't it?
Is your dad Northern?
No.
I'm trying to wonder where this fluff came from in your family.
Okay, you want to talk about stuff that, like, if you buy the best thing, it ruins you for it. She worked in a coffee shop, and she now is very super picky about coffee. She's very, very, very picky about coffee, which I benefit from because you get great coffee. But she was also, by the way, no offense, a terrible coffee shop employee.
No, I was terrible.
Why?
I tried to quit, and they like graciously fired me, and I didn't even realize I was being fired. I was like, "Oh my gosh, thank you." I tried to give them my 2 weeks notice because I got my job here, and then they were like, "You can just leave," and I was like, "Oh, great." And then I got home and was like, "Hang on."
She had to do taste tests where she would like make notes of like what the coffee.
It's a very
the undertones.
pretentious coffee shop in town. There's a couple of them.
And so she had to sample the coffee, and right, it has notes of cedar and
Morning
lavender in it,
lavender.
and it tastes like this. You'll appreciate this, Gavin. Every time they made her do that, it tastes like, and she would write coffee every time. So they fired her.
You got fired because you lost your fluff.
It's true. I lost my fluff along the way somewhere. I would also like quite visibly sigh when someone entered the room, and that was never good. Someone would walk in and I'd be like, "Oh God, I have to make hello."
Oh, you mean the customers?
Yeah.
Oh, that's not gonna go over
Right.
well.
So if a customer came in and they wanted the interaction to take 30 seconds instead of 3.5 minutes,
I didn't provide.
but wouldn't you rather have a shorter interaction with the customer?
Well, but I'm not supposed to. They're supposed to be like, "Hello,
Right, but
tell
as
me
a
about
human,
your life
though,
story."
when you
What do you know
be-
about humans? Human interaction for you is the worst thing that's ever happened to you in the history of our relationship. Is we had an elevator ride. I remember it so well. We were in the parking garage at the Congress building. We got on the first floor. We rode up to the 8th floor, and I talked to a lady in the elevator who was with us. And when she got off a floor before, she said, "That was horrendous." Like, you couldn't believe that people would talk in a lift together.
You're just so trapped. You can't do anything. Everyone else has to listen to you. It's polite to not say anything in a lift.
Just stare straight ahead, right?
Well, that because you're just forcing someone to listen to your conversation.
So there's a YouTuber that I like. And I recently rode in an elevator with this YouTuber. And I got in. They said hello to me. I said hello back. Then somebody else went to get in the elevator. And they stopped those people from getting in the elevator. And said, "Take the next one." And I'm in the elevator. That's wrong, right? That's weird and wrong, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was bizarre. And I like this person.
Well, that
I'm keeping it as
person-
anonymous as possible.
Nah.
Yeah, just
You like
take the
them
next
still?
one. No. I mean, that was like a blip.
See, that to me sounds way worse than anything I've done, either in person or over email.
I don't. All right. Yeah, that's fair. That's definitely that's your flaw.
Because
for sure.
I'm never trying to be rude. I'm just trying to be just information.
So let me ask you something. Blaine's always been kind of a bitch. Hey guys, what's up? So welcome to the Rooster Teeth podcast. I'm Burnie.
I'm Miles.
That was a weird order, wasn't it? I'm Gavin.
I'm Barbara.
Barbara could have done it, but she didn't do it. And
I gave pause just in case.
our sponsors for tonight are Fortnite, Jersey Mike's, and Me Undies.
We
More
actually got
about them
Jersey
later in the
Mike's?
podcast.
Yeah,
Listen, I'm so excited
finally!
about that because I almost tweeted.
That's legit.
Yeah, Jersey Mike's is always tweeting at us with fanfare stuff. And I was wondering, I wonder if we'll ever get Jersey Mike's as a sponsor for any of our stuff. Sure enough, come in today.
You know, they sent in a onesie for Michael and Lindsay's baby for Iris.
Really?
Yeah, they sent in a little, it said like mini sub on it, and it had like a little
I
Jersey
don't
Mike's
support
logo.
cannibalism. That's fucked up.
Wow. Babies are delicious, though. They look delicious. My favorite things I heard was a girl who, over text, didn't want to talk to me anymore. She said, "It's so hard to talk to you. I never know what you're thinking because you don't use emojis." That's literally what she said. She was dumb. I miss her.
Do you think she liked the Emoji Movie?
Dude.
Yeah, you. Bernie, I have a question.
Yeah,
I know you.
Yeah.
And I feel like no matter what, even if your kids begged you to take them to the Emoji Movie, you still wouldn't do it. But you went there.
Their mom sabotaged me. That was us at the Emoji Movie, crying.
Emoji
Their mom
Movie?
sabotaged me because they're going on vacation. And so I was like, hey, I'd love to spend some time with the kids this weekend. She goes, yeah, no problem. Because we have a real flexible thing where it's like, if I know I'm not going to see him for a week, it's like, want to bank up my days with El kiddos. And she's like, yeah, no problem. She didn't tell me that she had bought them all 10 kids tickets to go see the Emoji Movie.
10
and then
kids?
Ashley took the bullet with me. We all went and saw the Emoji Movie.
Suicide Pact.
Doesn't that thing have a 0% on Rotten Tomatoes?
It's so terrible. It's so friggin' terrible.
They wanted to license a clip from YouTube to use in that movie. I don't think I ever responded to them.
Oh no, I know exactly where they would have gone.
But yeah, I guess I'm glad I didn't.
Good call.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a bunch of apps featured in the movie as well.
Yeah.
And some of the lines are just so fucking
What is
bad.
it even about? A bunch of emojis come to life and then wreck shit?
There's so much wrong with this movie. So TJ Miller, who was on one of the smartest shows on TV, Silicon Valley. Great fucking show. And he plays such a great pivotal character in that show. And then he gets in this Emoji Movie and Deadpool and other stuff as well. But he specifically referenced when he quit Silicon Valley that he doesn't want to do things like play the same character over and over again for 6-7 years. He wants to parasail into the Cannes Film Festival, which he fucking did, for the Emoji Movie because that's, I'm paraphrasing here from memory, but he said that's what's next in funny. Like, that's the next big thing in comedy.
Didn't he also say that women aren't funny?
I don't know. I don't remember that.
I could have sworn I saw an article.
I think it's like
TJ Miller
every
saying women
male
aren't funny.
comedian says that at some point, like, tries to, like, make that point and embarrasses themselves. But then I'm watching this. So TJ Miller's character is the meh emoticon.
Oh, he's like the main guy?
Yeah, he's like meh.
TJ.
Which you could just sell, too. It's like this, the whole movie feels, you can feel the pitch in the boardroom at Sony Animation where they're like, yeah, let's make it about emojis and this won't be like a classic narrative, just follow this guy. And
What
it's like,
is the plot line, though?
so this guy, this meh icon, and the reason why he's probably the main character, wow, 7%.
God.
See, there he is in the middle there, the meh icon, or emoji.
Is that poop behind him?
Yeah, that's Sir Patrick Stewart.
Oh, good no.
Yeah.
Sir Patrick Stewart.
I think James Corden plays High Five, too. The high five icon.
They've got their...
It's terrible the whole way around. I'm not going to talk about it anymore. It's really terrible. It's not ironically terrible. It's just terrible. It's really a bad movie.
Can I make a guess as to what the moral of the story is?
Go ahead.
That you don't have to play the role that you're dealt.
Yeah. Okay, sure.
That'd be my guess.
It could be.
Like, he doesn't want to be a meh. Because he was all like, look, I can be happy. And then they had a fucking...
Well, that's why he gets in trouble is because he makes other faces besides meh. There you go.
Yeah.
And then,
What is the target audience for this movie?
Well, listen, the kids in the audience were entertained by it. They don't
give a fuck what they
watch.
watch.
They don't give a shit what they watch.
Yeah, no. And kissing dudes with facial hair is weird.
Yeah, it is.
That's got to be strange. I don't
think it's strange for a woman.
It depends on how long the beard is, especially how long the mustache is. Because if the mustache is creeping into the lip part, you have to like lift it to find the lips.
Do you lift it with your lip?
No, just with my fingers.
No, you don't. You like
What?
you like grab their face and like with thumbs push it up.
Do some of this, yeah. Actually.
You do not. You like
You
nurse
have to.
the hair out of the way?
It's like
I don't believe you.
It's like
you
having
go in for a kiss with someone with a beard and you just go,
hold on, let me get my comb.
The way you're describing it, it sounds like an uncircumcised face. Is the way the way your hand motion and everything.
Ben, can you come here for a sec, Ben? Can I use you as just a quick?
Yeah, Ben's
I'm
got
not
a
gonna.
wicked- Ben's got a
calm
wicked
down, Twitter.
beard.
But no, just come here real quick. I just need to see your face. So Barbara, you're telling me? Can we just get a little? Like, you go in, you're like, oh, you're so beautiful, and you just do that, and then go in.
When
Is that
you
what
do
you're
it,
saying?
when you do it, I want to kiss Ben. Now, when I see that,
I always wanna kiss
It's way more attractive.
Thank you, Ben.
I guess you kind of go in it at like an angle, like go
like up and under,
like under the mustache.
All right, Barbara. I know this isn't always open, but I gotta ask.
Hey, wait! I've been fucking shit on for bringing up sex topics on
What
this
have you
podcast.
been fucking? Oh,
way to just throw that.
So, what is overall? I mean, actually, you can weigh in too if you want to break up. What is the percentage of people that going down is part of the standard routine? I mean, Muriel, she would say 100%. I'm sure. The people she dates.
I don't want to. I guess I could be graphic because I'm usually graphic.
Well, just to give me a percentage.
I don't need it usually.
69.
So that sounds like a low percentage, Barbara.
No, it's just in terms of like when I'm like in that moment, I'm like ready to go.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to waste time.
Wetter than an otter's pocket.
That's the one.
Jesus Christ. I'm a fan of foreplay. I don't like skipping that.
Do you not like it though?
No, I like it. Yeah, for sure, I like it.
But your
it's just-
mentality is like, we could be fucking right now. Let's.
Yes.
That's like skipping the previews before the movie. You want to see if you want to see that new James Bond, Daniel Craig's in.
It's probably.
I just want you to note the look on Ashley's face. She's
I would say
like, nope.
it's like 80%.
80% offer.
Yeah.
Or
just do it.
Or just do it.
Yeah.
80%?
I feel like
You're like a 95.
No, I'm saying for other people. I'm saying of like in your whole roster, like me and the.
Burnie.
Hey, way to set the example, Burns.
And me and the two other guys you've slept with.
It's
right.
It's fun to do though.
Like, as far as like percentage of just that's part of the, I don't know, maybe a third.
Maybe a third.
Quarter. Not hot.
No. Bad.
Look, I've had lazy boyfriends.
Sad.
So sad. Where's the bottle opener for this?
Oh,
Gavin
it's on the
dropped
floor.
So apparently Ashley's been dating the podcast crew. See, I mean, I think part of it too, you want to go down on people because it just adds to the fanfare. Hey, speaking of fanfare, I want to talk to you about a legendary sandwich. Actually, it's more than a sandwich. It's a sub, and a damn good one at that. They're giant subs. Just
I don't know anybody who says poo the way Gavin says poo.
It's poo.
Poop.
Oh, I watched an amazing video, right?
That's a weird segue.
Two girls.
Oh, and also the cat is doing this thing. Meg used to collect Beanie Babies. So there's a box of Beanie Babies upstairs.
Bucket.
Shut up. Once a night, the cat will get off our bed, walk all the way upstairs, select one Beanie Baby, and come down with it in its mouth and dump it at the foot of the bed and then go back to sleep.
And is it like a magical selection?
He does it so consistently. We have a Nest camera looking at the Beanie Babies now.
Really?
It's incredible.
Does he spend time like picking through them and get
He
the
has
right
a
one?
little rummage. Yeah, he'll like pour about and then he'll be like, that one.
Do you think he's like bringing a dead animal as a gift to you? Because cats do that.
I think he wants us to like kill it.
Or think
Like he's
maybe
No, he's presenting you. They're teaching you how to hunt.
with
Yeah,
a dead
because they
animal.
think humans are stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, he wants us to eat it.
I dated someone who had a cat, and that cat would always bring in dead rats and dead mice that it would
I guess
kill out
I
in
should be glad it's just Beanie Babies.
in the yard.
Remember we used to watch Game of Thrones outdoors, and Joe the cat came running through with a still alive
no,
mouse.
you heard her kill it.
Yeah.
Or like killing it.
It was screaming. The mouse was screaming during like a really pivotal scene.
I think it was during the Red Wedding.
It might have been like one of those episodes around there for sure. And it was just like everyone was. I remember Aaron Zech was really Zech. Aaron Zech was really mortified by that in particular. She
Sounds
freaked out.
about
Tried
right.
to save the mouse.
That was a tough car ride home.
Was it?
Zek sounds so much better than Zech.
Yeah, I agree. Hello.
Hey, that's me.
And welcome to the last video this company will ever make. Our sponsors are. Do we have sponsors? No. What did we say last time? When there's no sponsors, day 5, season 2 comes out August 6th. So that's our sponsor for today.
Oh.
We've been doing experimental podcasts.
Yeah.
Where last week we did a one-on-one with Mr. Gavin Free. I sat down with Gavin. And then this week,
you caught me off guard.
Beloved personality.
I've been coming up with excuses for 6 years, and you finally caught me off guard. And I was like,
What was it?
What was what?
What was it that made it work? Just you weren't paying attention?
I just wasn't paying attention.
I didn't make like a specific play or anything like that?
You texted me something nice, and I said thanks, and then I said affirmative to something else in the conversation, and I didn't realize you had snuck a podcast ask in there as well.
Man. Yeah.
And then I felt like I can't say no.
I had you on a roll of responses. It's like you were responding one thing after another, and then just went in for the kill.
Broke my streak.
Well, it had to end at some point, right?
I guess.
Well, you've been on Off Topic. You have your own podcast.
Not very often.
What's that?
I try not to be on it very often.
Why? Okay.
I like to. I don't like to listen to me. I don't know why anybody else would, but I don't. Not enough shit happens from week to week in my life to talk about on a podcast.
No, it is. You have to build up a lot of life experience.
And if I'm recording for 15 hours a week in fucking Let's Plays anyway, whatever small thing happens to me at a fucking fast food restaurant or when I get my dick stuck in something, whatever, I've already covered it like 2 or 3 times by the time the podcast comes out. So I just feel like I'm taking up space when I'm on a podcast 2 or 3 weeks in a row. So I try to do it like every 3 to 5 weeks.
That's it. 3 to 5 weeks.
That's my goal. Yeah.
Build something up.
The off-topic podcast. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like
and then I have
just sitting over there, and I don't know why.
I don't know why he's here either.
So
I'm just the seat filler.
So why are you sitting there though?
I got an email with a calendar invite for 4:30 to 6:30, and all I know is I'm here.
What does the calendar invite say?
Just sit in this seat where Patrick sat last week.
Really?
All right, well, you're doing a great job.
Yeah, well, fucking keep up the great work, dude.
Thank you. Yeah.
How are you doing?
I'm doing all right.
So you're fitting in well?
Yeah.
Are you the last person from the internet box that we're gonna hire? I hope.
I hope so.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I think we've hired all of you, have we? At this point?
No, there's still
Sorry,
two left.
Dylon. Sorry, Mike.
Oh,
Yeah, Mike Kroon. Yeah, Mike Kroon, Dylon.
No, I wasn't calling anybody out. I
Yeah,
just didn't know.
there's still two left.
I
But
was,
yeah, when we started, there was nobody was employed full time.
What do you do? What does he do now?
Andy?
Yeah.
I have no clue.
What do you do?
He works for Trevor.
I work for Trevor. I do some edits, and occasionally I'm on the spot like every 3 fucking weeks. And
You're like Geoff.
Yeah.
Build up life experience. Is that why you do it?
Yeah. And occasional Let's Player too. So that's about
Well,
it.
it sounds like money well spent on all.
Yeah.
Is Trevor a good boss?
Yeah, he's not bad.
Not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Go ahead.
And Lindsay was before him, so
Don't be too glowing with your praise.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, you don't want to look like you're buttering him up for a raise
Chill,
or anything.
chill. It's good.
It's like, it's whatever.
It's good. I like
Did
it.
you miss the part where Jack got fired? Did you miss that?
I was there.
It happened like that.
Yeah,
buddy.
I know.
You don't even know.
I hear it's a lot easier to get fired now than it was back then. So
Hey, is your prequel stuff where you talk about the Star Wars prequels?
the prequel memes?
Yeah, the 1 through 3. Is
Yeah.
that ironic?
No, I generally enjoy them.
You really?
I'm sorry. Yeah, I grew up with them. I'm
You're a
like
fucking idiot.
I was born in 92, 99. I was 7. So
It's a good point.
They're not bad movies.
It's a good point. They're
not. They're not
movies.
great Star Wars movies, but they're not bad movies.
What do you mean they're not? What do you mean? How can they be if they're Star Wars movies, but they're not good Star Wars
But
movies?
they're not
how
bad
can they be
movies.
good
Like
movies?
there's worse movies than them. They're not bad movies.
Yeah, of course
They're just-
there are worse movies.
But they're just not on par as the original trilogy. Like how could
That's like saying World War II wasn't a good war for Germany, but it was a good war.
It was a good
Yeah,
war.
we won.
Solid.
So it wasn't. They're not bad movies. Three is generally good. 2 is trash. 1 has moments.
I don't recall that 2 and 3 are separate movies. It all just blends together to me.
1 is trash. 2 and 3 are more
No,
acceptable.
Hayden Christensen in 2 is awful.
Well,
really?
yeah, did you see anybody in 1?
You know,
Yeah,
Jake
Jake
Lloyd is
Lloyd.
now schizophrenic.
Didn't he get in jail or like in a home or
I
some
think
shit?
No,
I think
he's,
got institutionalized.
Yeah, he's institutionalized.
That's what Star Wars
That's
will do to
sad,
you.
dude. That's fucking sad.
George Lucas ruined his childhood. Didn't ruin my childhood. I liked them.
You know that George Lucas is on record as saying the reason why he sold to Disney was the internet.
The criticism.
That between the first
What a
like
bitch.
2 sets of trilogies, that the internet came about, and then he's like, "Oh, everyone hates my fucking movies. I thought everybody loved my movies." And he was like, I'm done with this, basically.
So if George Lucas never read the comments, he'd still be making Star Wars.
Don't read the comments. That's
I'm
the rule.
glad he read the comments.
You have to admit, though, that if you were a time traveler looking back, or a historian looking back to the year 2002 and reading comments about Star Wars, you would assume it's the most reviled film franchise in the history of the world.
For sure.
Even the people who love it talk about it like it's fucking garbage. And they get upset about
They're
everything.
not perfect.
Kylo Ren's bullshit, I just want to say.
Starkiller Base is bullshit. Hated that.
Did you?
I hated Starkiller.
You don't
Base.
like Kylo Ren?
That's too whiny. I just can't.
That's what Anakin
he's
should
not
have been.
Scary to me. Darth Vader's fucking scary.
Darth Vader is very scary.
Yeah.
He's fucking scary.
Kylo Ren was a better Anakin than Anakin was. Like Kylo Ren is what Anakin should have been. Like brooding. He's good.
Yeah. You watched like the Rebel series and all that stuff?
Yeah, I've seen everything.
Have you- listen,
I'm
this is
pretty
a
much
big
caught up
test
on
here.
everything canon.
Jeff, I don't even know if I want the answer to the question I'm asking. Andy, have you been to see the Emoji Movie?
I have not.
Okay, thank God.
No,
I saw your tweet. Your tweet's been making the rounds.
Fucking kid. They drug me to see. I had to go 10 kids to this fucking Emoji Movie.
10?
It's awful. It's just terrible. It's so terrible.
You've been busy since we last talked. I thought you only had 2.
What? That's the extended version of my family. No. So Jordan, my ex, you feel like a shithead.
I will say the doctor went to town on my balls for a while, an uncomfortable amount, and I was like,
why?
He was looking for fun. He said. No, he was looking for what is it? Yeah, hernias, I guess.
What?
He was like holding my balls.
Testicular cancer's your 20s.
Twisting them and coughing, and then there was it was a little long.
Where
on
the fuck did you
ball.
find this doctor? Tinder? Is that how you met him?
Yeah. He said
I need Tinder for medical professionals.
he said he was a licensed dickologist.
So what was did you go like anticipate?